here with our Tuesday edition of Family Health. Adrian Austin Makalazi is my name. We are continuing with our series of mental health. It is very important that we understand what mental health is, because there are a number of misconceptions surrounding mental health and mental illnesses. That is why by the time we end this series, I believe you will have learned quite a number of things that you will help you and your family together. We are glad that we have Martin Maganda, who is from Butabika National Referral Hospital. When you talk about Butabika, at least even a young child knows. We are surprised that Butabika handles even more different cases besides psychiatric cases. But it's a pleasure having you again this evening. And kindly greet our viewers, and then we shall get into today's discussion.
Yes, good evening, viewers. I'm glad I'm back here to discuss mental health, which is one of the passionate things I really care about. And I hope I'll be of help and otherwise help the community to understand more about mental health.
Sure, and we also believe today we are discussing things to do with mood disorders and anxieties. But just to take you a little back from last week's discussion, I know we have someone who might be following for the first time, and probably they missed out a thing or two in last week's discussion. Just in around 2 or 3 minutes to wrap it up as mental health as a general term and what it is all about. Yes.
Okay. When you hear mental health, you want to know about the normal functioning of an individual. Basically, it is not just being healthy, but being able to socialize, being emotionally stable and psychologically stable. So mental health encompasses 3 main concepts: the social prospect, emotional, and the psychological. So a person who is termed to be mentally healthy will be able to manage or control his or her emotions. Then this individual should be able to live socially. He or she must be able to live well with others. Okay? Then handle stress, daily stresses of life without interrupting others or disturbing others, or him or herself.
Okay.
Yes. And then the other perspective is the psychological aspect. Yes, psychologically. Thinking, judgment, yes, all those perspectives. So long as you can handle and live normally, then that is mental health.
Okay.
Yes.
Today we are looking at mood disorders and anxieties. Just to start with probably what this actually means. What is mood disorder, and what does the word anxiety mean?
Okay, those are two different things. But to break it down.
Yes.
A mood. Basically, a mood is the internal feeling or prospects of an individual. What you feel, that is mood. For example, happiness. If I ask you, are you happy? Then yes, I'm very happy. Are you sad? Irritability. Okay, those are what we call mood. What you feel inside you. If anyone asks you, Mr. Mukalas, how are you today? And you say, I'm very okay, I'm feeling fine.
I think we are locked in the word fine. Even when someone is sick, they'll say, I'm fine.
Yes. So long as you tell me you are fine, well, I would look at the expression, the affect, to really equate it with what you've told me. So basically, mood is what you feel, the inner feeling of an individual.
Okay.
Yes, but the affect is what you portray outside. You may tell me you're happy, but you look sad. Okay? So that is the affect. Yeah. So if you want to go into mood, you first have to understand what mood is.
Yes.
Yes. the feeling of an individual, the inner feeling of an individual. Yes. And then anxiety, then let's first tackle the mood.
Okay. we shall get to anxiety later. But then maybe if I can ask, are there misconceptions that are about mood and mood disorders?
Yes, there are a lot of misconceptions.
Okay.
Yes. I'll give you an example of a person who is sad. Yes. Sometimes when you look into the mood, there are various conditions in mood disorders. There is one is depression.
Okay.
Yes. Like last time I told you, most of the depressive patients will exhibit symptoms. Okay. For example, isolation. Some are hopeless. They lose hope in life. Then some will want to commit suicide or harm others. Okay. So usually we don't take people who threaten or say, I want to commit suicide, I want to die, I want to kill myself. There are a lot of misconceptions. People think they are weak. Okay. They think a normal person, how do you think about even committing suicide? Some think it is spirit.
Yes.
Okay. The ancestral spirits have really come to his or her head and you get it. Alalu say you get it. Then some will start speaking uncoordinated. Okay, because they are at times they become restless. Okay, that increases psychomotor. They become restless. They are even isolate. You find an individual has locked himself in the house, does not shower. He has lost basically interest in the daily activities of life. So the misconception is people will be like, he doesn't want to talk to others. Yes. He has even yes. So there is a lot of misconception in mood also.
Okay. And
just like the general psychiatry at large.
Oh, now probably we talk about now that the difference between the normal feelings, sadness or worry, and then because we've talked about depression, then we can talk about what we consider depression. Because I look at a situation where someone is going through all this, but still they think they are normal and they think everything is okay.
Yes. Now, if you look at mood, like I've described earlier on, there are a lot of episodes in the mood, like being happy, being sad, being irritable. So it is okay to have a wide and very normal to have a wide variety of such moods. Okay. But now you should be able to control your mood. If you're sad, you should be able to know the limits. You can't be sad and start like transferring the sadness to each and everyone you get.
And then you even remind them, do you even know what I'm going through?
Yes, you get it. We all get sad, but you go through that slowly. Then being happy. Okay. There are limits to being happy also. Being excessively and persistently happy for a longer period of times, now it becomes a disorder. Okay. Then the irritability, we get annoyed and then all of a sudden you want, but then if it exceeds the normal, exceeds the what we feel like it is now extremely and persistently, then it becomes a mood disorder. And for it to be described a mood disorder, it has to affect your social and occupational functioning. Okay. If you become sad and it persists for a long period of time, and then it affects your social. Remember mental health, we talked about the three perspectives. The social, okay, and the occupational. You can't function well at the workplace, and neither are you doing fine at home because of the sadness, the mood you have. Then that becomes a mood disorder. Okay? So we will look into various types, like we've seen depression. So if you want to know depression, if you ever find yourself with these symptoms persisting more than 2 weeks, then you know you have depression and you need help. if you are sad most of the time of the day for more than 2 weeks. Okay? If you have lost interest in things you used to enjoy doing, for example, Mr. Mukala used to play football, hang out with your friends, but now you're no longer interested. And even if you're willing to do them, you don't feel like happy.
People attribute it to growth and say, I think I've grown up now.
Yes, there is that bit of growth, and you have a lot of maybe responsibilities, but now you have lost interest, that even if you do something you enjoy like you used to. You someone who used to enjoy watching football, but even if you go to the bar, you don't enjoy football anymore. You don't enjoy hanging out with friends anymore. You've lost basically interest in all the pleasurable activities you used to enjoy. Then the third is you have these feelings of guilt. Yes, you're always blaming yourself for even things that
you have no control over.
Exactly. Why me? You're asking yourself, why me? Why me? Okay? Things happen at your workplace and you feel like you are responsible for them. Okay? Those feelings of guiltiness. Okay? If they ever exist, then in addition to the other sad mood, then you have issues concentrating, even at minimal activities. You lose concentration at minimal activities. Then changes in sleep. Okay, you find yourself, you go to bed earlier, you don't sleep. When you sleep, you wake up very early. During the day, you are sleeping because you feel much better or comfortable sleeping than moving with colleagues or friends or doing some work. Okay, and then changes in appetite.
So it is that serious?
Yes, if you have changes in appetite. For example, you are overeating these days. Some people think if you are depressed, you eat. You lose appetite.
Exactly.
No, there are some people who eat excessively. Yes, they engage in eating as a way of fighting the other thoughts. Okay? So they overeat. And there are those who are not going to eat at all. They will stop eating. They will lose appetite. Okay? So this will be evidenced in over time with gross weight loss or gain. Okay?
Even gain?
Yes.
When you're depressed?
You find depressed people with weight gain.
Wow.
Yes. Because now the weight gain will be as a result of what? Eating a lot. Okay? Sleeping a lot. You get it. Then you find yourself occupied with death wishes and suicidal thoughts. Okay? It is better off dead than being alive. I wish I could die. Those people you see who just storm the road and want the moving vehicle to knock them. Have you seen that? Yes. You find people just want to die. Any option to die, person will take it. So that is depression. That person needs help. That is one of the mood disorders so far. If you ever find yourself with more than 5 of those symptoms I've mentioned, yes, you are depressed and you need help.
It is that serious. And you know, sometimes we look at things and we attribute it to a number of things. For instance, you talked about when a situation where you've lost interest in the things you used to treasure.
Yes.
And then someone will say, even the people around you will say, Gundio Yakula. Or some people think it is a transformational, but I also realize that now.
Not really. If you ever find yourself for 2 consecutive weeks, daily you've lost interest in things you used to enjoy, and you are sad most of the time of the day, those 2 main symptoms I've mentioned,
okay, then
seek help.
Is there any possibility that you can have the opposite of sadness as one of a mood disorder?
Yes, exactly. Well, I'm going to that bit.
Please, let's.
Yes. And besides depression, you see, in chemistry there is this, how would you call it, pentagram something?
Yeah, the pendulum bob.
Yes. So moods are like that also. There are times when it is high and when it is low. You get it? So when it is low, you get the depressive features. Then let's talk about when it is high.
I'm interested in hearing about that.
It's a condition we call mania.
Okay.
Yes, mania is usually presents with abnormal and persistently elevated happiness. Those are critical words: abnormally and persistently. Okay.
Yes.
Elevated
happiness.
Feeling of euphoria. You feel very happy, and this thing persists for more than a week. Okay. Abnormally and persistently elevated happiness or elated mood. Okay. Or irritable mood. Irritable mood is when you feel everything is, you're tired of everything, you're angry at everything. If that thing persists for a week, okay, with abnormally and persistently increased self-esteem, okay, self-esteem and energy, increased energy. You feel your body is energetic. Okay.
I look at a situation where someone wakes up for a week or two and they feel they have that energy, what you call a positive energy. They feel they have a lot of energy. Vibe. Do stuff. Yeah, vibe. That's a common word. The vibe is high.
If you have that and it has persisted for 1 week, both two, the elated mood or irritable mood, then they increase self-esteem, and the other symptoms could be distractibility. Okay, distractibility, then increased energy. We've talked about that. Increased energy. You find yourself having a lot of plans. Involvement in goal-directed activities. If I talk about goal-directed activities, I mean you're moving from one idea to another. Today you want to build a flat, the other day you want to buy a car, the other day you want to marry, the other day you want to start another business, the other day you want to teach. So you find yourself that your mind is running you're having racing and pressured thoughts. Okay? Then decreased need for sleep. Usually because you are very excited, very energetic, you have a lot of plans, you find yourself having less time to sleep. You find people are sleeping for 2 or 3 hours and they will tell you, I'm always busy, I don't have time.
And they take pride in that.
Yes. Okay. Then you find these people, because of the irritable mood, they engage in behaviors that are destructive. They exhibit aggression and violence at times because they have a lot of energy. They have that euphoria. They feel special. Their self-esteem. They feel they can even beat you. Okay, they can even it will feel like I can beat over 100 people alone. Okay, and then appetite. These people may not eat because they have less time to eat. Okay, or these people, when they are to eat, they will eat food which mukalazi. For mukalazi, a man will sit on a plate and you'll be like, he can't finish that. He'll finish, add another one.
And they're only only being a man.
Yes. So, appetite, increased appetite. Okay? And then these people have what we call grandiose. Grandiose is basically a feeling of increased high esteem. Okay? And it's a form of a delusion, where a delusion basically is a false belief that cannot be corrected by rational thinking, that a person held so tightly that you can't convince him, and it is false. He will tell you, I'm a brother to Sudil, I own half of Kampala, I'm a very rich man, I'm a brother to Jesus, I was sent by God, I can perform miracles, I can pray for you and heal you. Okay? And basically it is illogical. You don't seem to connect such things. Okay? And these people are usually engaged in reckless behavior. Reckless behavior, for example, extravagant shopping. Okay? You find a man goes to the shop, orders for things, and he has no money. Haven't you seen such people?
We have seen them.
A man goes and even orders for a car, but he has no money.
I know of someone who say they went to a car bond with only 200 shillings.
Yes.
So they put the 200 coin on the tank and said, I'll come back for you.
Exactly. So if you have such behavior, plus the others we've talked about, then you need help. Okay? And these symptoms basically are not attributed to any medical illness or use of any substance. Okay? A man just exhibits this, or a woman. And usually, these people usually find themselves following certain, either a new religion or a cult. Okay? Because they are easily, they have attention and their attention and concentration abilities are reduced, so they are easily manipulated. Or themselves can manipulate you, because they have what we call the high esteem, self-esteem. So if you're easy to manipulate, this man can manipulate you into something because of the esteem he has. Okay, imagine a man who comes dressed. Of course, they dress very colorfully. Yes, you put on red, blue, smart. Because they are going to engage in this reckless behavior. A man comes dressed in a suit, very shining clothes. He has a watch here. He has bling bling. They put on those things a lot. If he's a gentleman, he put on nice shoes, very shining like this. And this man comes and tells you, "I want to buy this place." Remember, we talked about the other involvement plans.
Yes.
I want to buy this place. So if you want money easily, you can be duped by this gentleman. Okay? And these people basically also, they sell to achieve what they want. They can sell everything at home. They can sell they are very generous, by the way. If he comes to the bar, he can open bar. Mbagulide.
Tudugaze meza. Biru yange.
And he can pay that money if he has it. I have a scenario of a gentleman who was a very rich man. This man sold off everything, including the family property. Okay? And is currently renting, a man of 60, 70 something. So if you look at such an individual, okay? And then people will be like, you get it. So that is mania. And that person needs help. Yes. If you see a man who has sold off everything with such behaviors, he needs help.
Hey, this is so serious.
Yes.
Now, I look at people, you talked about people who have that positive energy, and this person's mood changes. Keeps on changing. I think it's what we call mood swing. So is it a personality, or it is also a symptom of depression?
Oh, when he keeps swinging from
3 days they're happy, the other day they'll come when they're moody, they're sad for 5 days, and then they keep on changing the mood, and it's very hard to detect their real mood.
Now that is another condition also. Now that is another condition. Okay, there are various of them, but there's what we call psychorhythmic disorder. So this is where a person exhibits with different moods in a distinct period of time, then swings to another one. Today is happy, the other day is sad. Okay,
we shall get into the details of that, but we want to look at now the performance of someone who is having these symptoms we've talked about. How is their performance at work? Is there any way this particular condition affects their performance at work?
Now the difficult bit comes in the performance. If you look at the last individual, the manic patient, this is a man who is very energetic, okay, very social, appealing to the public. Okay, this man will overwork. If he comes at the workplace, he will sweep, okay, clean everything, brings you tea, does everything for you, and people will be like, ah, what a social man. So unless he goes,
we commonly say, wasanzani kumacha.
So that man will be very productive, unless the other irritability comes in, the aggression and violence. Possibly has sold off all the family stuff, and people become worried. But if you don't recognize that, this is the man who will tell you, from here I'm going to go and buy you lunch. All of you, let's go and buy you lunch. Very active at the workplace. So you may be productive, but is sick. Then the other individual who has depression, this is an individual who will stay at home, will not work, because he has lost interest in pleasurable activities. He doesn't even feel the need to come and work. He wants to die.
Well, let's take a short commercial break. When we return, we are going to continue with the discussion. Please stick with us.
Family Hour, empowering families one episode at a time. Together, we build strong, healthy, and thriving families with our daily dose of inspiration and expert insights on topics that matter, like education and career growth.
A child may be a good entrepreneur, but you're forcing the child to make sure that she passes sciences in order for her to be a what? A nurse.
Family health.
No one should one day tell you that, hey, since you have diabetes, you should not take Caro. That's a lie. There's what we call portion control.
Finance and wealth.
Keep track of your spending. And part of the spending, of course, as we said, be able to separate wants from needs. That's secondary.
Leadership and governance.
There are people who take on the political aspect and try to water down important, significant decisions we leaders take for the good of this country.
Not forgetting parenting.
Now you're raising kids or children who are in a totally different time. You get it. Those days your mother would just give you an eye and you know this is a problem.
Hey, they are visitors.
And it's just there are visitors
and
around.
Mom gives you this eye, you know?
Yes.
Catch more of this every Monday to Friday at 9 p.m.
This is Church of Uganda Family TV, enriching lives. This is Church of Uganda Family TV, enriching lives.
Welcome back from the break. This is Family Hour, empowering families one episode at a time. We are looking at mood disorders, and to my surprise. There are things we sometimes think they're okay, or there's things sometimes we look at in people and we conclude that they're going through a transformation process, yet in actual sense they're going through depression. I wonder whether this person who is going through this can notice as an individual that there must be something changing in my life, and probably it could be something wrong.
Well, it depends. It depends on the individual, but some people do not realize they have a problem, especially the person with depression. Okay, this person basically he will not socialize a lot, and if he has no friends or close relatives, this person will deteriorate slowly. Okay, without notice. Okay, so these things do not happen at once. That it comes out of the blue at once. It is progressing at a downward trend. Okay, so an individual who used to come 5 days at work will come for 3 days because they keep on fighting that problem. Okay, a person keeps on fighting a problem. You'll find that a person who has depression will also decide to drink alcohol. Okay, to find perhaps if I drink I'll sleep,
I'll have some relief.
Yes, I'll have some relief, and probably it will help in a few days, few weeks, but you'll get another problem still. You start abusing alcohol. Okay, then the other individual with mania, it might, so those symptoms can come, and so long as the person is not destructive, he has not killed people, he has not beaten up people, this individual may go back to the normal life, with or without medication.
Okay.
Usually a manic person will exhibit those symptoms for 3 to 2 months, then go back to normal.
So they cease to buy us lunch, they cease to,
then you'll be like,
prepare for us tea.
Yes, maybe but this person has normalized, is back to the normal state. Okay, but those things keep on what? Swinging, just like the other penumbra we talked about. Yes, and then the challenge is the more episodes, the more chronicity. Yes. Yes, because initially, that's why I told you may not notice. You'll find you exhibit 3 or 2 symptoms. The next time 5, you get it. It goes on progressing like that until at the extreme, when now he becomes very irritable. He starts destroying property, burning cows. Some people will go on and start claiming, I own this radio, this is my radio. He goes to the TV station, this is my TV station, I'm firing all of you, and then people will be like, but who is this man? And that's when people will realize there is something wrong with this gentleman. But this person has been exhibiting these behaviors for some good time. Okay, he exhibits, then he goes to normal.
What about this who we sit with in taxis and then out of the blue he say, Munamba gobye, mufulume mugende.
Yes, that is it exactly.
So it is at the chronic level.
Yes, it can be depression or perhaps mania. Yes.
Well, you talked about this condition healing even when you do not have. You relax your mind and even before you get. Are there things that attribute, or it is because the triggers have now gone away?
Yes. In the last episode, we talked about one of the causes, and we talked about the genes. Okay, the genes, loss of property or loved ones. So stressors are very many. Stress itself can trigger such. Okay, then since it is a mood disorder, the main triggers could be the mood itself. Okay, for example, happiness. If a person has the manic traits and all of a sudden is excited, so you can be excited and then it shrinks to the.
Now we have another category of people who we always refer to and you say, oyogundu omusanga asanyo, so they can do A, B, C, D, and does it mean that now you find the modes at the high tech?
Exactly. And there's another condition in mania we call hypomania. Hypomania, we have these symptoms, but they do not make it to a week. They happen for 4 days or less. That is hypomania. It's another form of. So what is the difference between mania and hypomania? Yes, the difference is in hypomania, this person is not, the distress will not cause hospitalization. That's what you are actually saying. That if you find this gentleman very happy, he will buy you things. Yes, it will last for 2 to 3 days and it vanishes and it goes back to normal. But with mania, the distress will be so disturbing that it will need hospitalization, because this individual will either destroy property, this individual will sell off his family house, this individual will start dressing extraordinarily. Okay, a person who used to put on a tie is now putting on 2 ties. A person who used to put on good clothes, the man is putting on multiple clothes now. Okay, he flashes even the head. The man who used to have a normal haircut is now having, you get it. A person is very talkative, has a lot of plans. You get it? He's doing this, before you know, he's selling off land and need to buy a car. He's selling off the car to, you get it? Then that is mania. With hypomania, you have these symptoms, but they are not distressing. Okay, and the person will recover without hospitalization. But in mania, you need hospitalization. Yes. Same applies to depression. There's what we call a depressive episode, and then major depression. Okay, in depressive episode, usually you have these symptoms, but they are mild or moderate. But then in depression, major depression, an individual will lose everything, will lose his interest or her interest in every perspective. This individual will be extremely sad with a low mood. Okay, this individual will, the other we talked about, will have no hope in life. Basically will lose hope in life. He will look at you, leave you as you are, like okay, they break down, they isolate themselves. They can even, you find an individual has closed the door for 2 days, is not going out. Yes.
Well, it is all shocking that these are normal things that we always see, but I think we undermine, especially with the people around us. Now, let us talk about the support that we can offer to these people who are going through such situations. Is it supposed to be a professional support, or anyone, the closest neighbor or the closest family member can also do something to help these people?
Yes, if you look at depression, basically you look at the risk factors in depression. The risk factors are mainly loss of social support. You asked me about the other triggers. Yes. So if an individual does not have social support, is likely to go into depression. So social support plays a role in helping an individual either affected or not yet to be affected with depression. Because if you have people you socialize with, perhaps if you have problems, it is easier for you to get help or support from one of those circles than an individual who is alone. Okay. Then lack of spouse or partner. Okay, these individuals who are loners, it is very easily to break down into depression. Okay, then individuals could drink alcohol and abuse substance. Okay, and then you look at existence of medical comorbidities, talk about chronic illnesses, HIV, okay, cancer, then disabilities, okay, you've lost your leg, you are involved in an accident, such traumatic events, okay? Then loss of a partner, a friend, property, okay? So if we look at those circles of the risk factors and we amend them, perhaps we can help these individuals. Yeah, sometimes you don't even need medical attention, so long as those triggers are looked after. Yes. Then if it persists with that, then we'll need medication. Okay, you need professional help now, because if it comes to death wishes, person wants to die, person has refused to eat food, okay, this individual does not shower, has neglected body hygiene, because for her or him he has lost hope. There's no need to
people attribute it to being normal, especially for men, and they only look at it as abnormal when it gets to the ladies or the girls.
No, we need to shower.
I mean, in schools people think it is normal for
no, okay. But there's no way. Personal hygiene is basic. It's basic. For all. You wouldn't want to associate with a friend who does not shower, right? Yeah. With a very bad odor. Would you?
No.
So perhaps there is a problem. You get it? What's wrong? You may not tell the individual, but you may ask your colleagues, but what's wrong with Martin? These days, the shirt is dirty. Doesn't take care of himself. He has unkempt hair. You get it? It doesn't matter. He doesn't even mind about his appearance, because Martin has lost interest in everything. I'll just put on, whether I put on whatever I put on. I've lost hope in everything. I don't feel like I'm myself. Okay? My mind is somewhere else. Okay? I even want to die and leave this earth and go somewhere. So anyone who can simplify it for me much better. If they can't, perhaps it will grow to a person wanting to die. That's why you find, I had a colleague who told me, but what are these men doing in bars? You find educated men in bars. These men are depressed. The only help they have is that when they drink beer, they will forget about their worries. They will dance to the music, okay? And before you know, it is early morning and they are going to office. You get it? Yes.
Now, there is some other situation I know, probably you can speak in it and help someone. I know someone who is very shy when they are normal. When they're doing their work, they're so shy that it is very... sometimes they would say they're introverts, because it is really very hard to even get a word or two out of them. But then when they booze, they charge, they can speak everything. But also the other thing they do is to spend all the money. Even the wife knows that salary comes on 28th, but by 4th they have bought booze, so they don't have anything else. As long as he has paid the rent, they don't have anything left on their account, and so they will spend the rest of the days struggling. And this man will be a humble man until when the next salary comes in. But I want you to talk about his character, which is charged when he takes alcohol, and then that's when he will start sometimes sharing his problems with whoever he finds. And is this also a sign of depression that sends him to do that, and then they spend the life recklessly and the money recklessly without budget?
Now that one you have to explore more symptoms, but it looks more of a hypomanic individual. Okay, they are calm and quiet when they don't have money, but when they get money, the power.
Someone would say the power of the paper.
The power, when the power comes, that's why I told you there are triggers to these mood disorders. When this man is very normal, quiet when he doesn't have money, but when he gets money, he splashes money. Perhaps if you look at other symptoms, if you are examining properly and assess well, this man could be having a bipolar disorder, which is a mania, perhaps. Okay, we didn't discuss bipolar. Besides mania and depression, there's what we call a bipolar.
Okay.
Bipolar means two. Two. So it's a bipolar affective disorder. Affective is is a scientific term for, or an English word for mood disorder. Okay. Here, individuals present with one or two of the episodes we talked about, the manic episode and the depressive episode. So we have what we call bipolar 1. Individuals here basically will present with more of the mania symptoms, with a history of a depression. Okay, perhaps the gentleman is okay. Then you have bipolar 2. Bipolar 2, you will have major depressive episodes. The one we talked about. Then they will move concurrently with hypomania. Perhaps sometimes the gentleman gets madness, flashes it. Then the other days is very quiet, humbled.
Today you can today you sit with him, he gives you a 2 hours conversation. Very strong, he tells you how life was in the 80s, about the NRA war and what, and then in 2 days you can barely get a word out of him.
Anyway, that gentleman needs help.
Okay.
Yes, he needs help.
So last time we talked about stigma, but we want to see how stigma can worsen these people's situations. People who have the conditions we've talked about. Is there a way stigma can really worsen their condition, especially if the public now starts pointing at them and probably they realize, oh, so even this person is saying this about me?
Stigma is one of the hazards in mental health. I will tell you, for example, even students who go for medical practice in Butabika have stigma themselves. Okay? Even us. You get yourself somewhere, and me mentioning I work with Butabika, 5 people.
Exactly.
You get it. They'll be like, is this guy sane? And there is a saying that people who work in Butabika are mentally sick. So this is how big stigma is. Now to these individuals, it affects them to the bits. Okay? First of all, the general population look at mental illness as something weird. Okay? As people who are possessed, people who have been like outcasts. It is more like the ancestors have really pointed this one out to be an outcast. And even family members do not want to socialize with people who have mental illness. So a person will fail to seek medical attention because he or she fears to be termed mentally sick, because of the other aspects we've talked about. An outcast, possessed.
Yes. Okay.
Perhaps this person annoyed the ancestral and they are punishing. There are a lot of myths surrounding mental health that stigmatize these people, and it has not helped but to increase severity in these conditions. And I will appeal to everyone, because we all have friends, either a friend, a relative who has had mental illness. Okay? And please, if you have any person, do not stigmatize. Call out these people. You are not going to lose anything helping an individual who has mental illness, and you are not going to get mental illness because you are helping a person who has mental illness. Otherwise, we would all be mad.
What about this for who say everyone is mad, but the degree differs?
They are right in a certain perspective.
We talked about the people with mania and hypomania. I want you now, because now these people, we look at now the working class, especially people with mania, whose productivity at work is even affected, how can the employers and probably the environment foster or support them?
One is sensitization, because very many people don't know that they have a problem, because they don't know it is a problem itself. Their behavior is a problem. So there is big, we need to actually put awareness programs for people to know that if an individual behaves in this way, perhaps he needs help. Okay, that is the first thing to do. Then the other issue is that companies or at the workplace, you should invite psychologists, psychiatrists, have mental health sessions because of the stress we work. Okay, have psychologists come to your place, assess individuals, have group sessions. Okay, perhaps if you include the psychologist or mental health teams in companies, it is easier for an individual to know, hey, I've been doing this and this, perhaps I need help. Let me go and seek medical attention. Individually, you get it, so that the stigma does not affect this individual. And then there are things usually done in employment, do you call it them act? Employment act. For example, leave. Okay, yeah. Every employee is subjected to a month annual leave. Yes. Then there are refreshment cups. Yes. You go out. You get a day out. You go out away from the workplace. Put off steam. Put off stress. Then there are incentives like allowances. You know, the money is also. However sad you may be, and an individual rewards you, there is that happiness that comes out of it. And being appreciated is soft. Then the other is, these managers or administrators should look into the way they manage individuals. You know, some are very harsh, some are very strict. Okay, if it is 8, you reach at 8 and 1 minute, he will fire you. The rival book is taken away. So that stress is mounting on an individual, and it can cause one of those two. Okay, overworking people, delaying salaries. People are stressed over delaying salaries. You find people you have never been to. I know you have ever had such conversations when salary delays. You find people are converged together in corridors. They lose interest in work. They become harsh on customers. They even transfer that irritability up to home. You get it, because the person has debts and you are delaying, and it ends up causing domestic violence. Exactly. So people should look into that, especially administrators. Okay, give an explanation early so that people can know. Yes, because those are the things which stresses people at workplaces. Person has debts, school, kids, like now kids are going to school. I'm telling you, most of the parents are stressed. Some are depressed. Okay, he has a loan, salary has delayed, kids are demanding for a new uniform, a bag, rent is coming, the school fees itself. You get it. So a person will become depressed out of that. And the employee is also not helping. They're keeping quiet. No, he has continued being harsh and strict. I need you at work, and this man does not have transport. So the working environment should be one of the things to look at to help people come out of such things. Well, thank you so much. In a minute or less, how do you conclude our discussion today? I would like individuals out there to look out for their mental health. It starts with you. If you are stressed over issues, please look for help. Avoid being alone. Okay? Find people and connect with people. A human being is a social animal. Okay? Always seek help, like we've discussed. Stop behaviors that will point you to elements of abuse like alcohol, and I think I'll stop from there.
And we shall pick it up from there next time. Thank you so much, Martin. It's been a pleasure sharing this, and I believe someone watching, they're already checking out themselves to know, is everything okay with me? Well, that's the reason we are here every Monday to Friday. Thank you so much for watching today. As we get to the end, from the entire team, Jonan, Brinko, Didmas, and I, it's a good night. We meet again tomorrow.